Yeah.
Good afternoon. So we've talked today about different platforms, mobile, the reader, customer experience, digital leap, semantic web. What I'd like to focus on briefly are some of the tools that publishers, large and small, and in fact businesses of all types, are using to save money, move quickly, and make sure they can market their books, authors, and other products effectively across web, mobile, and social media. As mentioned, I'm a chief technical officer, but I wasn't always very technical. My background was actually TV. And we started the company about 12 years ago, and we were a digital marketing agency building websites for media companies, large and small. But about 3 or 4 years ago, we found that it was becoming harder and harder to convince companies to spend a lot of money marketing on microsites and websites and so on, because the returns simply weren't there. And it was from this that the idea for Supadu was born. I remember a particular meeting with Simon & Schuster trying to convince them to pay us a lot of money to build a beautiful idea, and they said that they loved it, but the problem was they couldn't justify it. They had hundreds of authors, hundreds of books, and they wanted to be able to do something for all of them. So in response to that, we thought hard, and we developed with them a product that became Supadu. And what it is, it's what we call online software. And I want to talk about how we use online software in our own business and how it can be used by other businesses to make themselves more efficient and to save money. We've talked a lot about the iPad. In fact, it was a year ago at last year's LBF that the iPad was about to come out. We gave some away in a competition on our stand. We had thousands of entrants. And Freya talked about how her 18-month-year-old can use it. Likewise, I have a 2-year-old, and she can pick it up, turn it on, and watch videos. The other end of the spectrum, my mother and my father, they sit there and they read newspapers on it. I think what's interesting about the iPad is that it's a new technological device that's been adopted early by different groups that you wouldn't normally expect. Often it's the younger, more tech-savvy people who adopt these devices. But this was picked up by groups across the spectrum that you wouldn't usually expect. And it's that accessibility that is key. And that's what I'm going to talk about briefly. If you can make something simple, then people will use it. And online software, it's talked about in the cloud. What it just means is that it's available easily. But it's also a big business. The examples I'm going to show you, together and others, it's a business that's generating this year about $10 billion in projected sales. And here are some examples. These are all products that we use ourselves in our company. We're about 40 people, and we use these products to run our business. They're all online software products. We use them for collaboration, communication. We use them for conferencing, invoicing, time tracking. Some of you in this room will no doubt have used Gmail and Hotmail and Yahoo and other free products. But on the business side, these are products that are being used in increasing numbers. So what are the characteristics of online software? Well, they're accessible through the browser. That's the thing that they all share. So if you have a Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer browser, you can use these products. You don't need to install anything. You don't need to ask the IT manager to come and let you do it. You can just use them, register, sign in. 30 seconds later, you can be using the products. And increasingly, you can use them across smartphones and tablets and apps as well. The other thing is you can try these products before you buy. So again, there isn't a purchasing decision that you need to make. You can give it a go. There's normally a free trial, and if it's a piece of software that will work for you, then you can make a decision to buy at the end of the trial period. They also have a monthly pricing model, which comes either as pay-as-you-go or a subscription basis, but it's usually pretty cost-effective. And also they integrate with each other, these products. So you don't have to go out and buy a big monolithic system, which is going to do every aspect of your business. You can actually buy best of breed, you can experiment, you can try one, try another one, and assemble your own suite of software that you can use to effectively run your business or to carry out business functions. To sort of give an example of that, so with Supadu, you can come to this website and sign up for a free trial, give us your name, your email address, but then what do we do with that information? Well, first thing we do is we stick it into MailChimp, which is an email newsletter tool, which we use to communicate with our customers or potential customers. And also we put into Salesforce, which is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. These are tools we use to foster leads and take a potential customer and turn them into a converted customer. You'll see that Salesforce, which has got over 3 billion customers, they even have on their logo that we're not software. What they mean by that is it's not traditional installed on your PC software. This is all in the cloud. So once we've got that information in these other tools, and if we convert an opportunity into a customer, then there's some other products that we then use to manage that business. So we might use Basecamp, which is a project collaboration tool. Again, it's used by companies large and small. We track our time in FreshBooks and invoicing. And obviously, we're communicating using the Google suite of products. So talk briefly about 3 different areas where these tools can help you to innovate and to be more efficient. First is communication and collaboration. So Google Apps, a lot of people will be familiar with Google Mail, which is a free product, and other webmail services. But Google have launched a more sophisticated version of this product, which is for businesses. And they claim to have 3 million businesses signed up already and generating quite a tidy revenue stream from that. And it's used for email scheduling and document collaboration. Because the costs are low enough, it means companies like ourselves can sign up every single person in the company as a user, where if you were buying the Microsoft Office suite, you might think twice about buying Excel and Word and PowerPoint for every single member of the team. So it means everyone's using the same tools, and therefore everyone can collaborate more effectively. A lot of our work is demoing our product, so we use web conferencing, which is WebEx from Cisco, which is a good product. It lets us communicate pretty effectively across the globe, demo our desktop to them, let them show us their desktop. Then there's Dropbox for file sharing, Basecamp, as I mentioned, for project collaboration, time tracking. And it's interesting to see that Microsoft, having obviously made its business by selling box software, they are coming out with their own web online offering, Microsoft Office 365, later this year. And it'll be interesting to see how that competes. They have a lot of money in their bank accounts, so wouldn't write them off. But so far, the running's been made in this area by Google with all their customers. Talk a little bit about the second area, which is marketing, email marketing. And if you're small or large, and in fact, customers of ours, both small and large, are using these kinds of tools to send out email newsletters and to build databases. Great thing about this is it doesn't matter how small you are, you can use a tool that is as sophisticated as the largest company. So there's an opportunity for new entrants and smaller companies to be as effective with their email marketing as anyone else. Typically, these tools you design, send out an email newsletter. You can track what people are looking at, and then you can segment future newsletters to different audiences based on what the reporting is telling you. You can set up autoresponders, so if you've captured someone's date of birth, you can automatically send them a birthday greeting. So you can do quite personalized email campaigns with this tool. And the key thing is you don't need to be technical to do this, although I'll qualify what technical means. I think most of us are actually pretty technical these days. And we notice that the younger people we employ, sort of out of university and then maybe their mid-20s, they've grown up with Facebook and other similar MySpace, other social media sites. They intuitively understand how to use online software, these kind of products, because it's all done through the browser. They don't need much training. So you don't need to be technical as a programmer, but you do need to understand how to use things like Facebook. So without much training, you can pretty quickly set up your own email campaign. There's online help guides, there's tutorials, and so you can learn all the tips and tricks and learn to be as effective as much larger organizations. The payment, as I said before, it's quite flexible. It's generally monthly, so you don't need to sign up to a big investment up front. And increasingly, they integrate with social media, so you can be getting your messages out to Twitter and Facebook at the same time. And then the third area is what are called building web presence. And this is getting your message out via the web onto pages, web pages, mobile pages, Facebook pages. There's a lot that's being said all the time. There's a lot of shouting that's going on. There's blogging, there's tweeting, and so on. And it's very important to get yourself heard and to build up your search engine optimization. So this is what building web presence is all about. It's making sure that you're getting your message out and it's being heard. Now, there are lots of different ways you can do this. The traditional method, if you're a large company, is you hire a web agency, which is the business we used to spend most of our time doing. And you can spend a lot of money and you can create great websites, great interactivity. But lead times are slow and it can be quite costly. And a lot of time is spent on both sides to achieve that finished website or microsite. This is where, again, there's a whole series of online software tools that can enable you to build your own web presence, again, without being a technical expert or without having to hire an agency. So if you're an individual on your own, and I'm sure there's some people here who are bloggers, you can go straight onto something like Google's Blogspot and create a blog pretty quickly. If you're a bit more ambitious, you can use tools sort of further up the scale, like Moonfruit or Squarespace, which have a whole series of templates which you can use to quite quickly create a web page. And typically now these web pages, they'll work pretty well across smartphones and tablets as well. If you're a bit more creative, then you can use products like Basekit or our product Supadu, where a designer can be involved and you can create pretty sophisticated web pages with these kind of products. Now the advantages are speed to market. You can turn it around pretty quickly. It's fully hosted, so you don't need to worry about what do I do with my pages now that I've built them. And they integrate, as we saw earlier, with other products. Just to sort of summarize the benefits, you can innovate because the implementation is really fast. You can try something out. If it doesn't work, drop it. Try something else. You're not reliant on the IT department saying no, that it's not compatible or it won't work. Or indeed, from a purchasing decision, you can give it a go because there's a free trial. Accessible from anywhere, so you can be looking at it on your mobile device. They're very scalable. You start with one user. If it works, you can roll these bits of software out to the whole of your organization. It's all maintained. You don't need to worry about backups and so on. And there's no upfront investment. And the final 2 points, the products are automatically updated all the time, so you don't need to be worrying about making the updates yourself. And ultimately, because the monthly cost is fairly low, the real cost of using these products is your own time. The more time you put into it, if you want to learn to become a great email marketeer, you can spend a lot of time investigating MailChimp and other products. And so it's your own time that becomes the cost there. So just finally, we showed the iPad to start with. It's interesting that you look at the best of breed of these online software products, and Apple's not really anywhere to be seen. They have a cloud offering called MobileMe, which I mentioned before, and it hasn't really taken off or been a success. I think partly because it was aimed mainly at consumers, but it's going to be relaunched. And I, for one, would be very interested to see where Apple is in this space in years to come, because I think that it's an area where we're going to see a lot of innovation and where control and flexibility will be given to people in organizations who traditionally haven't had that power or control. Thank you.